Hey everyone, Debbie Cork here. Just wanted to share a journal with you that I've just finished. This one was completely inspired by Zoe DeFee, who I was watching one of her lovely videos, and it was all about the steps that you take when planning to make a journal. I'll put the link in below if I can work out how to do it. But this is it, and it is, as I say, completely inspired by her planning tips. So I'm going to run through these tips that she actually gave and show how I applied them to this journal, and hopefully it will inspire you to pop across to her channel and have a look at some of the fabulous videos she's been doing. So the first tip that she meant was it was about writability, and it was about looking at the size and shape that you want your journal to be. So I made mine 4 inches by 5.5 inches with a 1.5 inch spine. It has 3 signatures in it, and it has 9 pieces of paper folded in each signature, which give a total of 108 sides. Now this is actually probably a bit bigger. I always get carried away when I'm putting together paper to make the pages, so I just tend to carry on and sew them in. So with hindsight, for what I want it for, it probably would be better to be a bit thinner, but it's lovely and it will do its purpose. So the purpose that I wanted to make it for was that it was big enough to do some abstract art in, and I will flip through, but some of the pages I've left quite blank. Of course I won't be able to find one now, there, so that I can have a go at doing some of my abstract art. And I also wanted to do some collage, some of which I've done already, and some of which I wanted to have some space to do ahead. And also I wanted to use it as a proper journal, so to make some notes as I go along. I think all the ones I've done so far have been collage books, glue books, which I absolutely adored. Not actually made a journal that I can actually write in, so that's the purpose of this one. The second point she made was portability, and it's about, do you want to carry it around or do you want to have it just on your desk? And I want to be able to carry this one around with me, so that was why I made it fairly small. Although it's quite thick, it should go, when I travel, should be okay, and then the rest of the time it'll be here. And then it goes on to sustainability. I wanted it to last for a while. I didn't want to do just one journal. I wanted to sort of have a reflection over the year going forward. So I actually wanted to do a slightly larger one. This one actually has come out larger than it should be, but I think it'll be okay. So that was the first sort of step that she asked people to think about. Then it went on to how eclectic do you want your journal to be? Well, those of you who know me well know I love to spend my time on the beach, and I'm totally inspired by the sea, by anything to do with water, and I usually spend my holidays somewhere by the sea. I live fairly close to the sea, and I find these colours very inspiring. The abstract journal I'm part of the Art Experiments group, and those of you who follow that will know I've been doing some abstract art all in sort of coastal colours, and I want to do some more of that in this book, so it will fit in very well. So that's why I've sort of chosen this palette. I like a coordinated look in my journals. I think glue books are fine, I think, to have lots of different colours, but I like things that are coordinated, so you can see that they're very much a coastal sort of colour palette, which is always nice to look through. So after that, the next step that she suggested looking at, and excuse me looking at my notes here, I want to make sure I do her planning justice, was the quantity and proportion of journal that's going to come from extras. Now I wanted, as I said, to make a journal and write in it, and I also wanted to do some art in it, but I wanted to include some journaling cards in order to do that. I've not done one of these before, so I wanted to put in some extra pockets and flaps, and use some ephemera. It's going to be quite a wide-ranging sort of sort of topics here. Although it's a coastal themed one, I think because it's going to have art and journaling and everything else in, it's going to cover quite a lot of different aspects really. So I did. This is the first journal, as I said, I've made where I've put extra things in, and I have put some little extra pockets in. And I also remembered to use washi tape, which I always forget, so that was a great reminder. I don't have a huge supply of it, but I need to be using what I have got. The step after that was to think about how you want to decorate your journal. Now I very much like using pages, it's a bit stuck together so you can see there's a pocket there. I very much like using junk journal material, so any sort of paper that I've got. I like to use a real mixture of it throughout the book. I think it creates a lot of interest, particularly if you're going to do some extra journaling on top of it. So this page is very much ready to do some abstract art on, just some paper stuck on ready. And I wanted to use my stencils and stamps and also magazine images, as well as a sort of different mixes of paper. So the paper I've used security envelopes, magazine images. The actual pages are made. There's a little envelope here. Most of my supplies I get from car boot sales, so I just keep them until I find a use for them. This is just some squared paper, an exercise book. This is some chart paper. I was given some nautical charts. And it's very nice quality paper, so it's nice to use. So the different weight papers I think are nice when you're doing different types of art in it too. This is a piece of a jelly plate. So that was that tip. So how do I want to decorate it? So a mixture of paper and lots of just about everything really. There won't be a huge amount of acrylic paint in there, but I do have some really nice cosmic shimmer watercolours which I seem to be obsessed with. So I'll probably be using those on some of the pages. And the last step is about ephemera. And I managed to accumulate lots of ephemera. This is some gold cigarette cards. This was a clothing label. I have postage stamps and things. I cut out words from magazines, that's what this is. This is an illustration from a children's book. So I really wanted to use, this is a little cork heart, I don't know where it came from. I really wanted to use stuff that I got, that I've been accumulating for a while. This is a little journaling card I made out of a magazine image, just stuck onto some plain card. And I also wanted to use things that I'd made myself, so that quite a lot of the journaling cards I have made just from card and stuck paper on. This is a napkin here. I did have a few that were ready made. That came from a Flow magazine. And I just wanted to make my own. I also made some little pockets, which I'll show you at the back, that Joey actually showed us how to make as well. So do go over to her channel and have a look at the fantastic things, loads of ideas. As I say, this was the very first one I did, and it was totally inspired by her planning, which was absolutely fabulous. Gave you a lot to think about, but in a very sort of ordered way, so that you won't overwhelmed when you're first starting, which is quite easy to do. So this was a pocket that I made out of a magazine image, and then I've just stuck a little card that I've made to go in there, and that's it. The cover is just a jelly plate on magazine paper. You can see the words showing through, which I think is quite nice. And I stitched the signatures in with wax thread. I've also reinforced the spine before I sewed them in with very wide sellotape, so two pieces, one goes from here to here and then the other one from here to here, just to give it a bit more strength. And then I have put 2 coats of varnish just on the other part of the cardboard, and then the inside is just painted in a blue. You can see the reinforcement there. I just tucked it into the spine. So that's it. Thanks so much for watching, and I'm really looking forward to using it, and probably make some more. Thanks very much. Bye bye.